Let's talk about the choices we make because they matter. From the food we eat to the products we bring into our homes, every decision has an impact. And one of the biggest, where you sleep. That's exactly why I love Avocado Green Mattress. Their mattresses are crafted with certified organic materials designed to stand the test of time. Because sustainability isn't just about what we buy, it's about buying better. I recently tried out the Avocado Green Mattress, their bestseller that comes in 3 comfort options. My partner and I went into the store and we were lying there and really could not decide between the firm and the medium options. They were both just so comfortable. I guess we'll have to go back for another test drive. I love that they have this try before you buy option where you can visit one of their retail stores or premier retail partners to experience the comfort in person. And Avocado has easy financing options with a firm that makes your purchase way more accessible. Head to avocadomattress.com today and save up to 10% on certified organic mattresses. Dream of better for you and the planet.
Has it ever felt like you're doing everything right, eating healthy, working out, but your energy still crashes? Or your mood swings hit out of nowhere? I know I have. What I've learned is that a lot of these issues are tied to changes in my hormones. That's where Happy Mammoth comes in. They offer a free 2-minute quiz that can help you uncover the root cause of your hormonal symptoms. It's super easy. Just answer a few questions. You'll get a personalized recommendation to help support your hormones and start feeling better. From the hormone quiz, I learned that my estrogen rises and falls unevenly. So the solution is hormone harmony, which could help with bloating, anxiety, fatigue, overwhelm, and more. Ready to start feeling like yourself again? Head over to happymammoth.com and take their free 2-minute hormone quiz today to find the ultimate answer to your stubborn hormonal issues. And for a limited time, you can also get 15% off your entire first order with our code DATEABLE at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code DATEABLE for 15% off today. Hi, I'm Yue Xu.
And I'm Julie Kraftchick.
We're active daters turned dating insiders.
Here to dive into everything modern dating and relationships.
Welcome to Dateable. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Brunch Talk.
We're live. Hello, everyone.
We are alive and you are alive, Julie. You survived.
I got my raspy voice. Is this sexy or not sexy?
I kind of like it. I don't know. It gives you a different persona for me.
Oh my God. I hope someone is like listening for the first time. It's just like, what is up with this girl's voice? Although people make fun of my real voice, so you can't win.
Well, you got to give everybody a reason for why your voice is different.
Yes, coming back from the Bachelorette weekend. We will get into it in next week's episode. So make sure to tune in. We're going to recap the highs that came from it, just all the incredible time. And yeah, it was such a great weekend. I'm a little dying now. It takes me a few days to recover in my old age, but I just feel so blessed and heart is warm of all just the love and I don't know, just it's so beautiful. Such a nice thing to have all your friends celebrate.
Yeah, it was so nice, like getting all your friends in one place. I've heard about different groups of people. I've met different groups of people, but never in one place. And it sets the tone nicely for your wedding.
You probably know most people.
I actually think of everybody there. I may be the one that knows like all your different groups.
I think you do.
Right? Yeah. I felt like I knew everybody and like had hung out with everybody except for your Boston friends, but
which is understandable.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, you were a glue.
It was fun. It was fun seeing everybody together and like catching up because it's
definitely
just, I haven't seen some of them in so long.
I know. Well, I guess like especially because you don't live here, so it's probably nice for people to spend time with you as well.
Yeah, really nice people, really good group of girls, but also rowdy. That's why Julie lost her voice.
But not like too rowdy. I feel like it was like
crazy.
The perfect rowdy. It was like everyone just wanted a freaking fun time. Yeah. Like it wasn't like there weren't any like wild stories. Remember before I was like, should we do a whole episode to talk about it or just the intro? And I'm like, I don't know if there's like a whole episode worth. There wasn't anything so crazy. So we got the intro. You can listen to it all next week. Or I guess that's a good reminder for people to subscribe and make sure they're on. We have these live Q&A and brunch talks where we answer listener questions, but then we also have our full episode where often we're joined by guests or even the two of us just deep diving on a specific topic or hearing someone's story and relating it back to so many of you and what you're going through with dating.
I actually think what was nice about the weekend was that it was kind of self-contained. Like, we didn't introduce that many external factors. Like, yes, we spend one day on the wine bus, but the rest of the time we're like at the house, enjoying the house. That was really nice.
I think that was good. And it was like different activities. So the first day was like people could swim, people could play pickleball and tennis, and we got massages for anyone who wanted it. So that was kind of nice to like let people do their own thing a little. And then Friday night we all came together, and then Saturday we're all together. And then, Sunday it was time to leave, but I stayed till 8:00. We went to a spa group.
How many people went to the spa?
Just 5 of us. So it's
okay.
perfect.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice
and it was
group.
like people that are in like bridal parties. So that was kind of nice,
That's
close
great.
friends. And I was like, I didn't realize your flight was at like 7 in the morning. Early. And I said to like Louise, that has people might know from the podcast, we've had her help with events in the past. She was there as well. And I was like, where's Yue? Is she playing tennis? And she's like, she left at 7. She didn't want to wake you up.
Because there's an airport that's really close called Santa Rosa. And it's like the closest airport. Otherwise, I would have gone to like Oakland or San Francisco, which is like over an hour drive. And they only have one flight a day from LAX. So it's like the only flight I could take on Sunday.
Shoot, did you do that for the wedding also?
Maybe.
Probably.
I haven't looked at a return. I don't know. We might just go to Oakland. That's fine.
Oh, yeah. I guess you'll be with your partner too. It's a little different.
Yeah.
But this was kind of cool for like, it's nice that you don't have to drive very far. You can just take an Uber.
Right. Yeah. But it was rough getting up. Like
7's rough. I know. That's the part with flights. I'm always like, but what time do you have to actually be there?
Yeah. That was a little rough. And it was like kind of scary with the Uber situation. I guess I didn't tell you this, but the Uber driver came. Please tell me if this has ever happened to you. I have a 7:00 flight. The Uber gets there at 5:45. Okay. It takes about half an hour to get to the airport. I get into the Uber. I'm already sat down, and he said, I do not accept Uber. I only accept cash or Venmo.
Uber, I've never had that happen. That's sketch.
Because Uber takes 50%, and it's not fair. And I'm already sitting in the Uber, and I would have to call again. And it wasn't easy getting an Uber.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's really not fair, right? Because now I'm like kind of stuck with you, but I'm more worried about my safety.
Yeah, I would be too. So I've never had that happen. That's
me
crazy.
neither. And it was so early in the morning. I was like, am I not thinking straight? Should I have just gotten out? So what I did was I screenshot his info, sent it to my partner, was like, keep track of this guy. And then I Venmoed this guy, whatever the amount was. But he did get me to the airport. It was safe. But there is this is the part that I was like, oh, fuck. In the middle, so from Calistoga to Santa Rosa, there's an area called the Petrified Forest.
Oh, yeah.
And you get no service whatsoever. And I remember going through this forest, going into Calistoga, thinking, this would be a great place for a horror film, the Petrified Forest.
Oh, my God. You're like, I'm living it. Yeah.
I'm living it, going back because you have no service. I had no signal.
Wow.
Going through the forest. And I'm like, fuck, is this how I die? But no, it's fine. He got me there. Okay. But I'm going to report him to Uber. I just don't think it's fair.
You should.
Yeah.
That's like really bad situation.
Yeah. It put me in a terrible situation. I was like more scared for my safety than anything else.
I feel like the 7:00 is pretty brutal.
Yeah. That's the most
Especially
brutal.
after like a wedding too. It's it's pretty brutal.
And we stayed up the night before too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All good. I got home okay.
Yeah. It's okay. Although I don't think I saw you when I got home because I went out with a small group, but a lot of people were still up when I got back.
I could hear
I think
them.
you were, I didn't see you.
I think I was already asleep or like in bed.
Yeah.
But a good times. Your voice will come back eventually. It was worth the price.
Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Yeah, again, it's crazy. It's like almost like still not fully real to me that that was my bachelorette. Like
Mhm.
it's like a bachelorette I went to, but it was like mine, you know?
Yeah.
But it was the best one I've ever been to, probably because it was mine. So,
So of the 19 girls, how many of their bachelorettes have you been to?
ooh, I don't know. I'd
Could you
have
do an
to,
estimate? Like over 10?
probably.
Yeah, probably over 10. Mm. Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts. And Julie's coffee right now.
Sorry. The bad, can't talk live. Maybe we should have thought this through more. But we're here.
No.
We're here. We're
No, this
showing
is a
up
real people need to
because
see this.
we have a pressing listener question. I was like, this can't wait a
Pressing.
week. Can't wait
Yeah.
a week. So
No.
we had to do it.
We got to get it answered.
Should we get into it? Because I think
Yeah,
it's
let's
a good
do it.
one. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. We got an email from a listener. I'll keep her anonymous, but also first I want to say she said she tried to write a review several times at Apple Podcasts. That is the hack to getting bumped up. So thank you for trying to write the review. Hopefully it went through. We haven't checked, but we take your word for it and we're bumping it up. So this listener also says that they just got our book and excited to get into that. But in the meantime, I have a more pressing question to ask. So here we are.
Okay.
Hi, ladies. I've been in a friends with benefits situation for about 2.5 years with someone who is also my best friend. We're both single parents and our lives are pretty full and we spend meaningful time together. Sometimes just us, sometimes with our kids. I'm happy with the way things are in terms of time and connection, but I've started to wonder if I want more commitment. When I brought it up, he said being in a relationship feels all-consuming to him, and he doesn't have the bandwidth for that. But that's not what I'm looking for either. I'd want our relationship to stay just as it is now, just with the clarity that we're actually together. He seemed to understand and even said it sounds like I just want reassurance. I've decided to take a couple weeks of space to reflect and figure out what I truly want, whether I'm genuinely okay with how things are or if I do need more. So my question is, what can I do during this time to gain the clarity I need? How should I think about his hesitation to commit when I'm not asking for more time or energy, just a different level of emotional security?
Just to clarify, kids are involved?
Yes.
Like, the kids are part of this.
It sounds like both of them have children.
See, I feel like friends with benefits, even though messy, is a lot less messy when it's just two people. But when you're involving kids, this sounds a lot more than a friends with benefits situation.
And it also sounds like they're like hanging out. It's not just like hooking up, which is what friends with benefits traditionally is, but she said / situationship.
Like I will wonder, because I'm thinking about my friend who's a single parent. She is very sensitive about who she introduces to her kid because she has to introduce the person.
Mm-hmm.
So if the guy is dating other people and introducing his child, like what is he saying to the child? I just feel like there's a lot at risk here.
Yeah. I mean, also, it sounds like they're actually close friends. I feel like friends with benefits, sometimes it's used loosely, like of someone that's not a real friend, but it sounds like she described as her best friend, like someone that they spend a lot of time together. And yeah, so I guess, first of all, to answer the question of getting clarity, well, we're so glad you already bought How to Be Dateable and that you're going to be diving into it because we have a whole chapter about gaining clarity and really getting to the root of what you want and identifying what your North Star is when it comes to dating. Because I think a lot of times we don't have that clarity and then we're just like, oh, we're fine with the way they are. And if we just put a label on it, I'll be good. But the question is, will you? We don't know the answer. So I think actually diving into it, like even taking out this situation, I would say remove this situation, like make it like in my ideal world, what do I want right now from a relationship? Like, what am I looking for? And we encourage people to even like remove, the labels that we tend to use of like partner and relationship and really try to put it into words that describe what it is you're actually wanting. And this is all in the book. Like we have a whole like kind of exercise that guides you through it. So if you're like, I can't follow, please go out and get it. We definitely feel strongly about this exercise. But I think without getting that clarity of, what we have in this North Star is your why. why are you dating right now? What is it that you're looking for? And not just, I want a relationship, but really, what is it that you want? And then what are your core needs? And that is what the dating North Star consists of. And taking this person out of the equation and getting in tune with your own self of what that core needs are and reason for dating, I think that will give you more clarity if this person is able to be that person for you.
Yeah. Along with the clarity comes simplification. And I wish that we could all simplify our lives much more. Because we live in a world where we try to optimize, we do a lot of these like slash situations. It's friends with benefits. It's a situationship. And we're trying to combine so many roles into one. And in this situation, can you have friends? And then you have the benefits. Separate the two just to simplify. I think in this circumstance, it sounds like your friendship is a lot stronger than the benefits part. So can we just separate the two, be friends? Because it sounds like you're getting a lot of benefits from the friendships already. And the sexual benefits can you get from someone else who's not a friend?
Right.
Combining the two gets so damn messy. And it's ultimately going to lead to heartbreak.
And then, of course, you think this person's like the relationship too, right? Because it's a
Yes.
friend, you have the sexual compatibility. Of course, you'd be in a relationship. But there is a key here that this person is telling you that they don't want to be in a relationship. And maybe they'll come around. Maybe they will. Maybe if you say, this is what I'm actually looking for, you both can get on the same page of what a relationship means for you. We highly recommend actually checking out the episode we did a couple weeks ago with the team at Multi-Amory about like a different way to love and do relationships, because I do think there is this world that we can like define what that means a little more. It doesn't have to be so cookie cutter of like the way we think that we do monogamous relationships. There is one side that you could work together, but then there's another side that this person is telling you that they don't really want to put that commitment in to figuring out what a relationship could be like with you or anyone. And this is kind of what their capacity is right now. And speaking from experience of ourselves and then people we've talked to, it's a lot easier to be with someone that you don't need to convince. So again, we don't know you, we don't know the person, so we're not going to say it's one or the other, but I would really think hard about like, is this person like going to give you all their energy to like develop and create and co-create this relationship? Are you just taking scraps of like what they're willing to give and saying, I'm cool with that?
Maybe make a list. We love lists of what you're hearing and then what you're choosing to hear.
Yeah.
In so many situations, we hear one thing and then we only pick and choose to hear certain aspects of what we're hearing. So what I'm hearing you say is, he's not interested in a relationship, but you're picking to hear that he cares about you, that he is there for you, and that your kids get along. Like, I think this is why it can be so messy, because you may be telling yourself, well, our kids get along. I get like we could be this mixed family. Things could be so good if we are all together. That is you projecting what you want in an actual relationship. But what he's giving you is nowhere near what you actually want. So make that list, what you're hearing and what you're choosing to hear.
Yeah, we have a section of the book about the internal translator. That's what it is. I want to dive into this even more, but before we do, let's take a quick break to hear from our partners.
I am so relieved to say that the days where shapewear feel like torture devices are over. Seriously, who invented those things? They were so uncomfortable. But now, have you discovered Skims? Because I'm a Skims believer, and it's just too good to keep all to myself. The Fits Everybody collection from Skims is like nothing I've ever tried before. And here's a funny story. When I first got the cheeky bikini underwear, I thought they had sent me kid sizes because of how small they looked. I was like, this is not going to fit me. But then I was shocked that they stretch to mold to my body, and they're so comfortable. I feel like I'm wearing nothing at all. And best of all, I found the perfect color to match my skin. So these undies don't show through any white pants. Skims truly live up to the hype. Shop Skims Fits Everybody collection and more at skims.com. After you place your order, be sure to let them know that we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select Dateable in the drop-down menu that follows.
I think there's another side too of like
it's kind of contradictory that you're saying that you're okay with things the way things are now, but you want more commitment.
Yeah.
So what does that actually mean? And like, do you want the label of him being your boyfriend if he feels uncomfortable giving that label? Like, I
Yeah.
think that's like really what needs to be discussed as well, because the reality is you're probably not okay with things just the way they are right now, or this
Yeah.
conversation wouldn't even be happening. And like, also, do you want the bare minimum of effort in a relationship? Like, is that the relationship you want? And that goes back to that gaining clarity exercise in the book of like really thinking about what you want in a relationship. Because, like, I feel like the definition of a relationship is very different. I look back to things that I thought were relationships, and it's not that they weren't, but just the level of investment and effort was never going to be enough for me.
No.
And I feel like if I had like stayed with my ex, like maybe I would have been in a relationship, but it would have always felt like I wanted more, always. And I think it was a lot easier to finally step out of that and find someone that could meet me where I was instead of expecting someone to be the person that I wanted, but they really didn't want to.
The lie we tell ourselves when we're in a situationship or friends with benefits relationship is that, well, I'm getting everything I want right now. I'm getting attention, I'm getting sex, I'm getting connection. So why would I give that up?
Right.
But the lie we're saying is, why would I not sacrifice all my needs to be in this situation that is so subpar? That is the lie. We're basically trying to gaslight ourselves into thinking this is what we need right now, and what we actually want will come later. But what if we told you that by you being with the wrong person who's not giving you everything that you want right now is actually standing in the way of the person who does want to be that person? The more you spend time with this person who's not right for you is taking away more time from the person who is right for you, who may be right around the corner.
Okay, so what does this person do? They're like, I know this. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's like what we said. You've got the book, do the gaining clarity exercise, take this guy out of the equation and really think about, what do I want? Not what I'm willing to accept and get the breadcrumbs of because someone's willing to give me, but like, what do I really want in a relationship? And I think one of the things too, if you haven't had a lot of great relationship experience, which I think a lot of us don't when we settle for things that aren't great, it's because we don't know any better. So it's not even like we're saying like we want a subpar relationship. Like looking back on it, like I'm just like, why did I think a relationship was something that I like didn't even talk to my partner every day? Like, but to me, that was like normal because it was actually better than things I've had in the past. So I would look at your friends, look at people in your life, look at your family members. Who do you really like respect their relationship and pull from that? I think that's a really great activity and exercise to say like, this is possible. Other people have it. It's not a jealousy or comparison thing, but seeing that other people have it means I can actually have it too. And saying like, oh, I want that person that's going to celebrate my birthday and really go all out. And like your friend that has the partner that's always there because they're best friends and they don't want to not spend time together. Whatever it means to you, like pull from those examples and really have that vision that goes into your dating North Star. So that's first of all. Second of all, I would say communicate that with this person. This person is supposedly your best friend and someone that, you know, is you have a deep friendship with. Like you can have that conversation. And maybe it's not even saying like giving an ultimatum or expecting them to do something, but just saying like, okay, we took this little breather. I've really given some thought into what I want in a relationship. This is what a good relationship would look like to me. What are your thoughts? And hear what they say. Turn that internal translator off and really hear what they're saying. Are they saying, oh, actually, that sounds like pretty good and that's something I'm definitely into? Or are they saying like, nope, that's still too much. Like, I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. I can't commit to this. Like, listen to what they're saying first. And then obviously the next part is what they're actually doing. But I think even in the saying part, you'll get a lot of clarity in their response to what you put out there. Instead of saying like, what are you looking for? Lead with what it is that you want and see where they're at in their reaction to that.
Yeah. The clarity comes from, I think, knowing what you get the most value out of this person. When you look at your friends with benefits, Honestly, being with a friends with benefits is like going to a dentist who happens to know how to unclog toilets. Why don't you hire a plumber versus like constantly asking your dentist to unclog your toilet? Friends with benefits is very similar. What are you getting the most out of? Is it the friends or is it the sexual benefits? And lean into that. And then for the other happen to be bonus part, find someone else for it. Find an expert in that. But you can't combine the two and expect it to be this perfect vision of what you want. And to what Julie's saying, when you have a vision of what you want, especially in a relationship, you'll start to see that you are not only settling, but you are doing yourself a disservice by being with people who are subpar in what they're giving you. Not that they're subpar people or they don't deserve, the best of you, but they're just a subpar in how they're meeting your needs. And why would you want that? Like, why would you ever settle for that? If you're treating yourself as a client, like, right? If you are the client to yourself and you were giving your client everything that they wanted, would you actually deliver this person for them? Probably not.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're taking the time away. I think that's a great first step to just give it that breathing room. Because I do think if you're always seeing the person and with them, it makes it hard to like get that space and actually do the reflection. So kudos to you to doing that, getting the book. You're already taking that first step. And now it's just getting that clarity and then seeing if this person can step up or not. And from what you said, it sounds like they might not be able to, but at least you'll get your closure. Or maybe they'll have a change of heart if they're like, this actually does sound like a relationship I want.
But don't count on it, please. Don't count on the change of heart.
If there needs to be actions that back it up.
Yeah.
I think like if you're like, I want someone that, I spend, I don't know, I'm just making this up, but like every weekend together. I don't know if that's realistic with kids, but whatever it is, let's say you're like every other weekend or the weekends that we don't have our kids. And then they're like not doing that because they have too much other stuff going on. Then like that's not actually what you both discussed as what you're looking for. So yeah, I don't want to say like they're a hard no because like, again, we don't know them and maybe they can rise to the occasion, but you have to take what they're saying and what they're doing at face value.
Don't fall into this trap, which I used to fall into. It's like, well, if they wanted more, or if this is not an ideal situation, why wouldn't they just walk away first? Or why wouldn't they step up? Or why wouldn't they say something? Listen, when you're on the other end of wanting something more in a situationship, you're the one sacrificing your needs. They're not. You're actually giving them everything that they want. Why would they walk away? They get the friendship, the connection, the benefits, the quality time, the physical touch. They get it all. Why would they say anything? So remember, are you prioritizing their needs or are you prioritizing yours? Because if you're prioritizing yours, stop meeting everything that they're asking for and start putting you in the driver's seat.
That's why when you're doing the exercises, you need to take them out of the equation. I know we sound like a broken record with that, but it's like all about your needs independent to this person.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you wrote in. Thank you, listener, for writing this. We get this type of question all the time. We know people are dealing with this, whether it's your friends with benefits or the person you went on a couple dates with, situationship, whatever it is. There's a lot of these gray area relationships. And a lot of times people will tell you what they want, but it's not always what we want to hear. And it's hard to walk away because it still feels like it's better than nothing. And especially here in this situation, it's like, we got the chemistry, we got the connection. Why wouldn't it be more? Sometimes it's very hard to wrap your head around that. But I think, yeah, like that's the reality that we've both learned the hard way is that it doesn't always make it just fall into place, despite how logical it seems like it should.
It's not that simple. Never is. But you can simplify.
I mean, honestly, if there's one thing I wish I did differently in my dating life, it would have been to say goodbye to these people that weren't giving me what I wanted. But at the end of the day, it brought me to where I am now. Made me learn, maybe eventually find the right person. So again, don't beat yourself up for this. I think whatever happens in this situation, it sounds like it was a good thing overall. It definitely opened your heart. It helped you connect with another person and the next person will meet you there and be better.
Keep us updated, please.
Okay. Well, This was a good one. Thanks again for writing in. Other folks, please submit your rating and review to Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can leave the actual question in the review on Apple Podcasts. You can write it on YouTube. There's so many ways to get in touch with us. Also, make sure to pick up How to Be Dateable if you want to gain clarity into your love life and do the exercises we were talking about. And there's just so many good nuggets in there. And I think just the whole book will leave you very hopeful. That's what we keep hearing, is that it feels hopeful. It doesn't feel gimmicky. It feels authentic. It feels like we get it. We're in it with you, but giving you like the insight to like take control of your love life and not let other people dictate how that goes down.
You can get the book, howtobedateable.com. That's where you find all the info, and send in your questions, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.